Yo, 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 it's your boy Cool Blue, back at it again with another video here on the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Today is March 15th, 2021, episode 4A. The title of the episode is New York, New York, New York. Will it be a fun road trip? Now, we just came off a brutal week against the Washington Capitals. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on it because, it's time to move forward. There's nothing we can do about last week. Today is Monday. It's a new week. So we gotta look at the schedule ahead, and we gotta take care of our business this week. The reason why the episode is called New York, New York, New York, will it be a fun trip, is because we play the next 10 games. We have 9 of the games are against New York teams. To me, that's just crazy. So the first few are in New York. We got 2 against the Rangers. 1 is tonight, 7 o'clock. And then we have 3 after the New York Rangers games. We have 3 New York Islander games. And then they throw in a New Jersey Devil game in there, very randomly on a Tuesday night. I don't really like that, to be honest with you. But whatever, that's the way the schedule goes. And then right after that New Jersey Devils game, we have 2 New York Rangers tilts, but those 2 are going to be in Wells Fargo Center. And then to finish out the month of March, we have 3 games against Buffalo in Buffalo. So it's going to be an interesting next 2 weeks to close out the month of March. But tonight we have the New York Rangers, and this crazy schedule is only due to the way COVID affected the league this year, which is everyone's dealing with these types of schedules, so it's not just us. But it does make it kind of exciting when you're used to seeing New York 4 times a year, 6 times a year, depending on what year. I know it varies, but typically you see them like at least 4 times. And you don't always get to play them twice in 1 week, the way that these schedules are set up. So the fact that we are playing the New York Rangers 4 times within the next 2 weeks, that's a lot of matchups. And they're not back to back games. Well, they're back to back opponents, but not back to back days. But if you look at the schedule, so you have one on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we literally play like every other day. They did sneak a back to back in at the end of the month against Buffalo. We play on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. But the reason why I bring this up is because there's not many days off between seeing these guys, like seeing your opponents. So, and you've seen it. You saw it in the Pittsburgh series that just recently passed. You saw it in the Washington series that recently passed. But you see, it feels like playoff time, and it's only March. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's very frustrating when you're on a losing streak and you're losing to the same team over and over again. It almost makes you feel like the season's over. But the good thing about this is you are still in it because of the teams that you're playing. So typically, in a normal season, if you're playing 10 games, you might only play 5 people within your division. So you can't make up that much ground because the people that are also ahead of you in the standings or below you in the standings or tied with you in the standings are also gaining ground or losing ground depending on how their games go. But the fact that we're playing the New York Islanders 3 times in a very short period of time, it can swing very, very quickly. Now, that's 6 points right there if you win in regulation all 3 times. So these are all very, very important games. And it just seems like they're more important than other years because you are playing these teams like 8 or 9 times in a season. Not to mention, let's say you play the Islanders, right? You play them like 8 times throughout the season. That's more than you would play in a playoff series. Well, then now carry that over to the playoffs. Now, let's say you go to the playoffs and you go to Game 7 against the Islanders. That's 15 matchups against one team in 1 year. That is a lot. That's a lot of playing time against one opponent. But I'm kind of just rambling on about that. But it's just something to think about. But tonight's game, all right? Tonight's game, we got the Rangers, and we have confirmation that Carter Hart will be in net. Now, I think that this was always the plan. I think that it was always the plan to have Carter Hart sit out on Saturday against the Washington Capitals. Now, of course, you never really plan for your goalie to get pulled early in a game, but that's the way it went. Obviously, Carter Hart was ready to go. He's a professional, and he's always ready to come into the game if called upon. And he did come in, and we saw him play. And, obviously it's great to see him out there, but that wasn't the plan. So tonight was really supposed to be the plan, in my opinion. I think that we were supposed to give Carter Hart another day off, and then he plays against the Rangers tonight, possibly Wednesday. And depending on how these two games go, then you look at the Islanders series and say, all right, are we going to play Hart all 3 games? Are we going to go play him 2 games? You know what I mean? So it's kind of where we're sitting right now with the goaltender issue. What was interesting about today was we got information that Brian Elliott, is not going to back up Carter Hart tonight. They are going to give Moose some time off. I can't say that I saw this coming because I didn't. But do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, why not? Moose he's put on a good workload for a backup goaltender. We have Alex Lyon coming up to back up Hart. Now, I actually like Alex. I think that he's got some good talent. I'm not confident to say that he is a starting goaltender full time for any team. I also haven't really watched him play too much. I only see him play when he gets called up, which isn't very often. But it's important that Moose gets back on track. It's important that Hart gets back on track. And it's also important to see what you have down in the minor leagues in Alex Lyon, because who knows? You never know how playoff series are going to go. You don't know how the end of the season's going to go. You don't know. We don't really know anything until we see people in net. Now, will Alex get into the game? Unfortunately, nothing against him. I hope we don't see him play, because that means that Carter Hart has some serious issues, and we don't want to see that. That would just be heartbreaking. So I definitely support the decision of giving Moose some extra days of rest. Even traveling to New York. Now, I don't know if he's in New York. Okay, I don't know. Maybe he's coming later. Maybe he's gonna suit up for the Islander series and just sit out the Rangers series. I don't know. I actually haven't dug into that. I was actually traveling today, so I haven't been able to do a little bit of research. But I wanted to get this episode in before the start of the Rangers game tonight. But I like I said, I think that was always the plan, to have Hart go tonight. And I wish him all the best of luck. I'm actually excited for this series. Something about Washington, that series just, it just bothered me. I can't even, I don't know, something about it. Like, obviously we didn't play well, and obviously we lost 3 games in a row to them. And, maybe that had something to do with it. But sometimes just playing Washington just irritates me. But we got the Rangers tonight. Should be a good matchup. Now, let's take a look here. So obviously we know that Hart is in net. It's been confirmed, which is great. Even though Elliott does have more wins, we know that they decided to rest Elliott, which is fine. JVR's on a tear right now. Like he's just having a great season. 28 points. 28 points this year. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let me see. How many games we even played? We've only played 25 games, so he's averaging a point per game easily, which is great because we've talked about JVR before, and let's not go down that path once again. I think that as of right now, we know where I stand on JVR. And if you don't know, I should suggest that you check out some of the previous episodes. We do talk about JVR a good bit, being a veteran player on the Flyers. But so we have JVR. Will he continue his point streak tonight? Yeah, I hope so. I hope he does. But as of right now, goals per game, we do score on average more than the Rangers. Almost a point more, which is awesome. Our goal scoring, for me, is not the issue. Our issue is the lack of effort on the defensive end right out of the gate. Like right in the beginning of the game, I feel like we come out flat-footed. We're not skating hard. We're not aggressive on the puck. And we just get caught on our heels way too frequently and way too fast as of late. So the goals per game, it doesn't surprise me that we score more goals than the Rangers on average. Goals against per game, we are sitting at 3.24, and the Rangers are sitting at 2.69. So that is a little troubling because when you have a team that doesn't allow their opponents that many goals, but you can score goals, you have to understand that, like, you might not be able to score that many goals in this series, So we're going to have to win this game defensively, I feel like. I feel like we're going to get our chances to score, and we can't give them that many chances to score. And I know you can say that about any game, but a game where their defense clearly doesn't let up that many goals, says a lot. And their goaltender, actually, his save percentage is technically better than Hart's. And the goals against, like, their goalie is he's 1-1, 0-1. So he's got 1 win, 1 loss, no wins or losses in OT, and he has 1 shootout. And his goals against are 1.53. Hart's 6-6, 3-1. Goals against at 3.6 with a save percentage of .887. So it's kind of interesting on how that pans out. The way I see it is our power play has been scoring a little bit. Not I wouldn't say consistently like in game, but consistently like game to game, we've been scoring. So we're 1-1 against the Rangers this year. I thought we were 2-0, but we're 1-1. Huh. That's okay. We're 1-1. So this kind of, are we evenly matched? I don't know. So let's look at the power play percentage. Our power play percentage is 19.56 or 54 against their penalty kill. Or no, their power play is 14.58. So their power play isn't that great. Isn't that great. Now, ours isn't that great either. So what's that really saying? I mean, obviously don't want to put them on the power play, but their power play is definitely not as big as a threat I would say against Washington. I just or Boston. But their penalty kill is really good. Their penalty kill is 87.6 or 0.06%, where we're sitting at a 73% for our penalty kill. So I think that because their power play isn't that good, but our penalty kill is a little bit lower, it kind of does even out. So we're kind of in a very evenly tilt here against the Rangers. So we're gonna have to see how this plays out. I'm glad that Konechny's streak is continuously it's going game to game, which is nice. Obviously, we just talked about JVR. I'm going to take a look here real fast because I was just so disappointed with the Capitals game the other night. I don't even remember who scored. JVR scored. I remember that. Nolan Patrick. Yes, Nolan Patrick finally got on the board. I remember I called that. I said I wanted Nolan Patrick to score a goal, and he did get on the board. So I would love to see tonight. I would love to see Oscar Lindblom get on the board because those two were the two that we talked about in previous episodes about scoring a goal. And Ghost scored again. Giroux scored again. So really, like when I look at Ghost scoring a goal, okay, like I've said before, our offense is not the problem. Our problem, I feel as though, is our defense and getting down early in games and spending all this energy on trying to get back. And we've seen this multiple times before in previous seasons. And I'm not talking about just last season, but like multiple seasons, we see the Flyers struggle with this problem. And, you can't really blame the game and say on the captain and be like, oh, Claude Giroux, we wouldn't have lost if Claude Giroux, would have stepped up. Well, the hole was dug. It was dug deep. And he did step up because he scored to try to come back. Ghost scored to try to come back. So like I can't sit here and say like, oh, it's one guy's fault. As a team, we have to be sharper right from the beginning of the game so that we don't dig ourselves these holes that are just almost impossible to get out of. You know what I mean? Like I said, offense is not the problem. We can put up goals. We got a lot of talented guys on our roster. So, we need to execute and we need to capitalize on our scoring chances. So tonight, I'm feeling a lower scorer game, to be honest with you. Maybe like a 3-1. I think I'm going to go 3-1 in tonight's tilt. So 3-1 is where we stand. We'll talk about who I think is going to score in a second. But the one thing I want to say is something about the Flyers and the Rangers playing. It just brings me back to, I don't know, like Flyers hockey, like when they were on their cup run. And I don't know if it's because, of how the teams were back then, but I just remember talking about the Rangers more often against the Flyers and the Flyers playing the Rangers more often during those years, like with friends and stuff. So like for some reason, like when I watch the Flyers play the Rangers now, I get this weird feeling. And I think that's kind of cool. I'm sure everyone has that team that the Flyers play against that, like, they just get up for, like they're just extra excited. Now, obviously Pittsburgh's a big one because, they're, it's Pittsburgh, but, let me know down in the comments how you feel about, stuff like that. Like what are your most memorable games, being at or watching and stuff like that. Definitely drop some comments down below, and, I would love to read them and hear about them. But so 3-1, I'm calling for the Flyers game tonight. I think we're gonna score. I don't know what I'm feeling a big game from Hart. I'm feeling a big game from Hart, and I don't know. I feel like he's gonna come out fire and he's gonna look really good. Like he might let one in. I don't want to say. I think we'll go up 1-0 tonight. I think that AV is going to have the guys ready for this game, especially after the Washington series. And I think that we'll probably go up 1-0, and then Rangers are going to tie it, and it's going to be a goal probably like Carter Hart, like no goalie is going to be able to stop. That's what I'm kind of predicting, and then from there, Hart's just gonna be like, nah, this is my game. I'm taking over. Like they're not scoring again, and I think we're gonna see Carter Hart just look great tonight. Like back, like I don't want to say back because he's like relatively new, but like the Hart that we know, like where we can sit up here tomorrow and be like, oh yeah, he's back. But that's what I'm feeling. So with a 3-1 win, I'm going to go with Oscar Lindblom is getting on the board tonight. Oh, and by the way, we have Michael back in the lineup tonight, which is good to see. I'm glad that his hand healed enough when he's back in there. He's a tough guy, so I didn't expect a little dinker hand injury to keep him out too long. But I'm glad to see him back, his name back in the lineup tonight. And I also real quickly, before we give predictions, our lineups tonight, I'm going to read them off to you. So tonight we got JVR, Sean Couturier, Joel Farabee, line 1. Solid line. Line 2, we got Scott Lawton, Kevin Hayes, Travis Konecny. Solid. Scotty knows. He's been tearing it up. Do I think he'll get a goal tonight? I don't think Scott's going to get a goal tonight, but I think he will keep his point streak up, and I think he's going to. I bet you he gets an assist, and I bet you Travis Konecny puts in a goal tonight. That's Anyway, line 3 we got Jake Voracek, Claude Giroux, Nicholas Akubel, and then line 4 we have Oscar Lindblom, Mike Rath, and we got Nolan Patrick. All right. Love to see it. Raff is back in the lineup. I think they sent down on Andreoff, but it's all right. Defenseman, we got Braun. Then we got Sanheim Myers, then Ghost Proser, and then we got Moose on rest days. We got Hart in between the pipes, and we got Lion backing up the Hart. All right, we got the young guys in between the pipes. All right, I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be an interesting game. I think it's gonna be fun to watch. But yes, so 3-1 is my prediction. I think that Oscar Lindblom is going to get a tally tonight on the scoreboard. I also am going to call out Travis Konecny, and for the third goal, we're going to go Jake Voracek. We're going to go Voracek, all right? I would love to see Jake on the scoreboard, man. I would love it. And by the way, one of those 3 goals, at least one of those 3 goals is going to be a power play goal. That's what I'm predicting for tonight's game. Hopefully we get the dub. That's all I'm saying. All right? So we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to wrap it up here for this episode. Like I said earlier, leave some comments down below. Tell me some stories about being at the Flyers games. If you've gone back yet, now that fans are allowed back into the Wells Fargo Center, let me know how you feel about it. I would love to hear. I would love to hear other people's experiences and their perspectives on everything, and not COVID, just the feeling of being back. Yeah, because I remember how I felt like going back into the stadium, and I would love to hear people's stories. So comment down below. Turn on that bell for notifications if you haven't already, and if you want to be notified anytime I do a live stream or post a video up on the channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you like what you see. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. All the support is greatly appreciated. I'm so excited to be putting this channel together. There's so many things that I want to talk about all the time, and it's always about Flyers hockey. And I'm so glad I finally decided to do this. It's something I've been wanting to do for such a long time, and we're doing it. So, yes, please, if you want to support the channel, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on that bell, and I'll really appreciate it. But without further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you next video. Go Flyers.